What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Flawless Pound Performance video. And on today's video, we are actually going to be working on a diesel. Now, I hardly work on diesel, but today's video we are going to be installing some boost pipes on this 2024 GMC 2500. And this is everything that we will be installing. This is all from Banks. As you can see, Banks, I just went ahead and went over it, make sure we had everything. So all the couplers and pipes are there. We have an AT4 intake, a Banks elbow for the turbo, and a map sensor spacer. So right now this truck is bone stock. Besides suspension and tires, it is really tall. So we are going to get rid of this, the charge pipes from the turbo down below, and which is technically the hot side, and then we have the cool side, which actually gets fed into the motor. If I'm actually correct, that is the cold and hot, like I said. So yeah, guys, this is gonna be today's video, and I can't wait to actually do this truck. Just makes it look so much neater. You're gonna replace that stock one with the nice and big AFE box, and as well, you know, just kind of give it more of the red accent on the motor as well with those new charge pipes from Banks. So yeah, guys, let's actually get to it. And to actually start on this, you do have to remove both fender liners on both sides, and those are all being held on by Torx bits. I don't know the specific size, but yeah, let's go ahead and remove those right now. So guys, we did go ahead and take off the intake portion, or at least the tube. Further examination and looking around, that is one of the bolts for the elbow that we will be installing, because we are actually installing that piece right there. And we do actually have to remove the AC compressor that is sitting right here. So we do have to get a extension, or not an extension, I'm sorry, but a 1/2 inch ratchet, and take the tension off the belt. We are actually going to remove this since we are replacing it. It just makes it easier because there is actual charge pipes right there that we are removing. So yeah, let me go ahead and pop that off. And I'm actually still thinking about it. I know I can go get a set of wobble sockets. Seems to be a 13 millimeter, that bolt right there. So obviously there's another one on this side, and I can get a wobble socket in there, but it is going to be hard to actually restart the bolt or thread in the bolt. So I am just thinking about actually removing the AC compressor. So with that being said, let me go ahead and remove the intake box and still kind of think about what we are going to be doing for the elbow. So I did go ahead and remove the AC compressor. Went ahead and did it that route. Honestly, it's not too hard. The only tedious bolt is this one, and the actual instructions for the elbow, as you can see, we do have the turbo wheel in there, and the actual instructions for this do call for you actually cutting off the threads, these threads right here. So we are actually going to go with the grinder and go ahead and cut that off. And it's funny for that one because they say that it does get really close to the new elbow, which I am going to go ahead and throw on right now. So all in all, it's not that hard. You just remove this bracket that's with these two front bolts. It has a nut on top, and then you just have connectors and this one hose that just wiggles off. So pretty much it's not hard at all. We're actually going to go ahead and throw in the new Banks with the new seal and new bolts. So let me go ahead and grab that, throw it on, and I'll pick it right back up. So we do have that Banks elbows here in that nice red, and I believe this kit does fit all L5Ps, and this being a 2024, I believe after 2015 you do have to utilize this hose clamp. But as for everything above that, it does come with a little compression ring, and you can go ahead and just use that same one. Just make sure it slides over. If yours for whatever reason does not, they do include this hose clamp for you, as well as the new bolts. So go ahead and use these, since the other ones are just longer. So I mean, they give you new bolts, might as well use them. So yeah, seal, bolts and the actual elbow itself. So let me go ahead and get back up there and tie this down. Go ahead and cut the compressor bolt that I mentioned in the last clip, and go ahead and just tie everything back up. With the Banks elbow installed and that bolt cut, I just went ahead and cut that right now. We are actually gonna go ahead and reinstall everything. So throw on the compressor and go ahead and just bolt up all the brackets, connectors that we went ahead and disconnected. We're gonna put on the intake as of now because we are actually here working around this area with the charge pipes and stuff. So I am actually gonna go ahead and also, there's a pipe back there that we have to change, if I'm not mistaken. With the Banks elbow installed and the bolt cut, or the stud actually is cut, we are actually gonna go ahead and throw everything back on, reinstall the belt as well. And before I actually start doing the intake portion, the AFE intake, we are actually gonna go ahead and start replacing the charge pipes, since he did also order that. So we are gonna go ahead and throw that on for him. That way we do have all this, since we do have this space all freed up and it is pretty much there. You know, I don't want to go ahead and install a box and then having to remove it again. So we are gonna actually go ahead and do that at the very end. So as for the compressor, I am actually gonna go ahead and throw it on. So we are moving on to the map sensor relocation. Now it really doesn't move the sensor anywhere else. It stays in the same place. It just changes the position. So instead of it sitting straight down into the manifold, it will sit sideways with that relocation. So this is just a 10mm, the clip itself, and you pop off the sensor. And yeah, pretty much 10mm. Let's go ahead and pop that off, and I'll go ahead and show you the new relocation. Went ahead and popped off that map sensor, and it is absolutely coated with just a bunch of carbon dust. So I am actually going to go ahead and wipe that off before actually putting it into the map sensor relocation bracket. So let me go ahead and clean that up. Here we have the Banks relocation kit. So basically what comes in that kit is the relocation bracket, 2 Torx screws, as well as a torque tool. So basically this is now the new seating portion that goes on the manifold, and this is the new seating portion for the map sensor itself. So essentially this just goes in like this. Once you have it seated properly, obviously you are gonna go ahead and install a Torx screw there, and it does have some Loctite already installed. So it should look something like this, with the Banks and the connector facing down. And you always want to keep keynote that there is a O-ring right here. Just make sure it does not pop off before installing, or you will have a leak to the map sensor. So with the other supplied screw, this is going to be the new hardware for the manifold. So as we come back to the truck, we do have the new relocation bracket. So you just kind of keep in mind of the orientation. It is going to sit like this, and basically it is going to sit just like this, as you guys can see. So instead of it sitting directly on the manifold, now we are sitting sideways, and it is going to be kind of hard putting in this bolt since it does have Loctite or thread locker on it, and you don't want to give it too tight, just enough to where you feel like it's not going to come undone. And essentially you move this other connector off to the side to have space to install the actual map sensor connector. Just like that, you hear the click, you put in that gray or white lock, and we do have that map sensor relocation installed. So basically we knocked down 2 things: the Banks elbow, map relocation, and what's left is the actual charge pipes, and we are all done with the truck. So we are actually going to go ahead and start on doing that driver's side, since it is a little bit of the harder side. But yeah, let me go ahead and get to that side. So guys, with an 11mm wrench, we went ahead and popped off the top coupler. Just loosen that nut, and you do have to loosen it a fair amount. before it actually starts coming out. So we are going to do the same thing for the bottom, which is located right there behind that electrical line. And essentially, once that gets popped off, we are actually going to start working it out through this area right here. Everything is all connected in one. So that does look like a clamp there, but there's actually no clamp. That's just a compression clamp, and it goes all the way up. So kind of have to finesse it out through this area. You don't have to disconnect anything from those connectors. It'll just come out straight from there. So let me go ahead and pop that off and take off that whole line. Went ahead and got that charge pipe removed, and it does take a lot of you know, trying and stuff to be able to get that out. You have to work both arms. So as soon as you pull off this rubber, the rubber side, that side is really easy, but you kind of have to start forcing it down, feed it, and then kind of twist it over, then it'll all come out. So I went ahead and did the other side as well. Now the other side is really easy. Essentially all it is these quick release clips, or yeah, I would say they're kind of like clips. As soon as you just pull these out, usually you just want to get it from here, pop this out, and you know, basically that one's out already. Do that to the other side as well, pull it out, and same thing for the other side. I do have that other one here. Now keep in mind of the orientation, not the orientation, but of the placement of where they are. This one came out from the lower, so this is going to be your lower side, and your upper is going to be bigger. So that is why you do want to keep an idea of where they come out of. So having both of them off, I am actually going to go ahead and start doing the easy side. I'm going to go ahead and transfer the temperature sensor. I believe this is like a intake air temp sensor, and this is a 16 millimeter. Go ahead and just throw it over here on this side and start you know, kind of assembling the couplers. So basically these are going to be the new version of these, so that is why you do want to keep an eye on those clips. So you go ahead and transfer the sensor, go ahead and set this up, and I'll take a video of you know, how everything looks. So in case you are looking at this for reference, this is going to be, you know, pretty much everything assembled. Went ahead and got that driver's side in. It is now nice and tight, and obviously I didn't put on the intake yet. I just want to double check everything before I actually cover it all up with the intake. So I went ahead and jumped over to this side. Now I know I said I was going to start on actually this side first, and I did that side. I just did it, I was already there, might as well. So I got that side knocked out and left the hard side for last. So went ahead and set the couplers. That's one. You have your other on top over here. So essentially what I'm doing right now is actually removing the computer, the PCM. And to do that, you just go ahead and knock out all these red clips. There's three. There's that third one over there. And go ahead and unlatch each one of the three, and then you have those 10 millimeters right there. And that pretty much lets it go. And just be very careful. It is, you know, your brains of the motor, so don't go ahead and leave it out and exposed. Go ahead and just put it inside where you're working. Go ahead and just put it inside the vehicle, and you know, make sure they don't get wet or something like that. So let me go ahead and knock this out. And once you go ahead and remove it, essentially what you're gonna do, this part is actually a two-piece section. So you have your lower, and it ends up stopping around right here, and then you do have that remainder of the upper to that other coupler. So let me go ahead and remove that, install that lower, and there is another rubber boot. That's the center portion. That's basically where they both meet and they get tied up. So let me go ahead and remove the computer. Went ahead and bolted up everything. So we do have one boot tight, the second boot is tight, and the third on top is tight as well. So pretty much all left to do is just reinstall the PCM. Go ahead and connect that back with the 4 bolts or 4 nuts that we took off. So I am going to go ahead and do that, and then jump onto the AFE intake. And pretty much when all that is done, installed, we are actually going to be done with the vehicle, and it received the map relocation, Banks elbow, as well as the charge pipes, hot and cold, and AFE intake. So this is gonna be really good. Doesn't make any sound difference, maybe just turbo sounds, that's about it, but I will get a lot of power gains with that. So yeah, let me go ahead and wrap up this job, and I'll pick it up once everything from the AFE intake is installed. Went ahead and threw on that AFE power intake. There are those charge pipes. Got the elbow. Everything fit really good. Only modification I did have to do was that Banks rubber coupler down there. I did go ahead and trim just one side of it because it was too long, and down here in the actual intercooler it was about this far off, but I cut about that much, and yeah, pretty much everything lined up. I do recommend using a tool like this if y'all happen to have one. This is made for rubber hoses and stuff like that, making sure you put them on right. But as for the intake, really had no issues installing it, and pretty straightforward. We did go ahead and take off the factory air box and intakes because of the bank. So pretty much the only thing you transfer over is just your MAF sensor and the grommets that actually hold it in place. So other than that, I mean, if you're looking to get into getting a Banks elbow, I recommend the AFE power intake, just because everything did bolt up really nice. And I know there's certain intakes that don't work for certain parts that you get, but this one did seem to work really good. And I forgot to mention that we also did do that map relocation. So yeah guys, I am gonna go ahead and turn it on, see if there's any difference on maybe turbo whistle or things in that sense, because I know it will have a good amount of power gain because of the parts that we did go ahead and install. It is breathing a lot better, it's gonna cool a lot better, and really the silencers from the intake and stuff like that, we went ahead and deleted them. So all in all, it should have a lot more power and you know, a little bit more difference in the sound, at least for the turbo. So I am going to go ahead and turn it on, that way you guys can hear it, and I can just go ahead and check for leaks and whatnot on the things that I went ahead and installed. Making sure we got no light, and we don't. Just here double checking all our work. We have nothing bad off the rip, no bad sounds, no leaks. I went ahead and also took off the belt, so I am double checking that the belt is running fine, which seems to be running perfect. So yeah guys, pretty much it on the install. Now I know there is a lot of other things that we also can do to this truck, and I will go ahead and recommend to the customer, just depending on what he actually wants for his truck. He can go make the turbo louder, or actually delete the truck is not deleted. And by the turbo being louder, I mean, I think he goes to 9 blade if I'm not mistaken. I'm really not into that much of the diesel side. I do work on a few diesel, but I'm not really into it, and I know only a few things. But one being, he can really delete the truck, and that alone would just make a world of a difference for him. But as for right now, the truck sounds amazing, the truck looks amazing, rides amazing, and it's good that we went ahead and installed that for him. We have no issues with installing diesel parts if y'all are interested. But all in all, everything seems to be working really good. We have no lights on the dash, no hissing, no knocks or anything. So pretty much, yeah, everything feels really good. And like I said, if y'all guys have a diesel like this, an L5P, and I believe this is from like the teens all the way to the recent, so this truck is a 2024, and if you want this specific kit, I mean, Banks sells, I believe it's called the boost pipe kit, I believe it's called. I can't really remember, But yeah, it comes with your hot and cold and also the elbow. So yeah guys, worked really good. And like I said, if y'all guys want this specific setup, AFE went ahead and bolted right up to the bank's elbow. No issues. I had no trimming, no nothing. Everything was really great. So with that being said, I am gonna go ahead and call the customer. And yeah, thanks for tuning in to yet another video here on the Flores Power Performance YouTube channel. And hopefully I get to work on a little bit more diesels for my diesel people that are into that. So yeah guys, like I said, thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.